Hey everyone, welcome to another deep dive, this time into Neville Goddard's Seedtime and Harvest. You guys ready to unlock the power of your imagination?
Absolutely. It's not just about wishful thinking, though. We're going deep into the mechanics of manifestation.
Yeah, no magic wands here, right? More like we're cracking the code. And expert speaker, you're definitely the one to help us with that. So first things first, this whole Bible as psychology thing Goddard talks about that really grabbed my attention.
It's fascinating how he takes something familiar like the Bible and uses it as a framework for understanding the mind. He's not preaching, he's using the language and symbolism to explain how our minds work.
Right, like a different kind of instruction manual. Instead of literal stories, it's more like these symbols represent different parts of our minds.
Exactly. So instead of David and Goliath, we're looking at, say, willpower versus self-doubt. It's about understanding the underlying principles at play.
Okay, I like where this is going. So how do we actually use this symbolic language to, as Goddard says, unlock our potential?
That's where his concept of the four mighty ones comes in. It sounds a bit dramatic, but it's actually a very insightful analogy.
Yeah, I was thinking superhero team up when I first heard it.
It's kind of like that.
Ah,
He compares them to the production team of a play. You've got the producer, that's the initial desire, the spark that gets everything going.
okay, so that's like the aha moment, the thing you really want to create.
Exactly. Then there's the author, who meticulously crafts the script, that's you, visualizing your wish fulfilled in detail.
So instead of just wishing on a star, I'm writing the whole screenplay for my dream life.
Precisely. And then the director steps in your focused attention, bringing that vision to life on the mental stage. And finally, the actor, embodying it all, that's you, living out the reality you've created in your mind.
Wow, okay, so we're talking about a whole production here, but what about those times when you're putting in the work, you've got the vision, the focus, the whole shebang, but it still feels like something's missing?
Well, that's where Goddard's gift of faith comes in. And I don't mean blind faith. It's about that unwavering conviction that what you've imagined is already real, even before you see it in the physical world.
Like you ace that test before you even get the results.
Exactly. And Goddard shares some really incredible stories about people manifesting things purely through this kind of unwavering faith. Like, there's one about a woman who used it to heal her nephew's birthmark. Just through the power of her imagination and belief, she actually shifted his reality. Pretty powerful stuff.
Okay, that's pretty amazing. But we also have to acknowledge that life isn't always sunshine and rainbows, right? We all hit those bumps in the road. How does Goddard explain those moments when our desires seem to hit a wall?
Well, that's where his concept of the scale of being comes in. Imagine thinking a book is just paper and ink. Then you realize it's words, forming sentences, conveying ideas. But there's another level, understanding the author's intention behind those ideas. Each step reveals a deeper why behind what you initially perceived.
So it's about looking beyond the surface and recognizing there's a bigger picture, even if we can't always see it.
Exactly. He uses this really poignant example of a burial that seemed totally unjust on the surface. But when you understood the deeper intentions, the soul's journey, the karmic debts being paid, the situation took on a whole new meaning.
It's like those times when something seemingly negative happens, and later you realize it led you to something much better.
Precisely. And sometimes those plot twists are essential for us to manifest our deepest desires, even if we don't understand their purpose at the time.
It's like, life is what happens when you're busy making other plans. But what if we could get better at spotting those deeper currents, those unseen forces that shape our experiences? Goddard seems to think we can, with this whole idea of the game of life.
Right, and every game has its rules. Goddard's point is we're not just along for the ride, we actually influence how the game unfolds. One of the most fundamental rules, he says, is, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he.
Okay, so we're talking about more than just like positive thinking here, right? It's about recognizing that our thoughts, those deep-seated beliefs we have, those inner conversations, they're constantly shaping our reality.
Absolutely, yeah. And becoming aware of that internal dialogue, that's key. Goddard tells this story about a businessman, and his goal wasn't just making money, it was the wise and productive use of money. He wasn't chasing wealth, he was already operating from the assumption that he had it.
So it's like he skipped over the whole striving part and went straight to, how can I be the best steward of abundance? And because his thoughts were already aligned with that, it manifested.
Precisely, that's it exactly. By focusing on the feeling of the wish fulfilled, in this case, having wealth to utilize wisely, He aligned his inner world with his desired outer reality.
Okay, this is exciting, but this is also where it gets kind of tricky, right? Because those inner conversations, those deep-seated beliefs, they can be hard enough to just identify, let alone rewrite. So where do we even begin to change the script?
Well, Goddard was a huge advocate for using our imagination. He tells this amazing story about a woman who used her imagination to reconcile with her estranged family. She'd mentally write and reread letters from them, full of love and forgiveness, even though they hadn't spoken in years.
Wait, so she imagined these letters, and then what? She received real ones.
You got it. It's like those imagined letters were energetic blueprints paving the way, our inner world influencing outer circumstances. But then he takes it a step further with time, times and a half.
Okay, now that one sounds a little cryptic. What's the secret code behind time, times and a half?
Well, it comes from the Book of Daniel originally, referring to a specific time period, but Goddard uses it as a formula for manifestation. So time is performing the desired action in your imagination once. Times is repeating it over and over, building that momentum.
Repetition is key. Got it. But what about that half? What's that all about?
The half, he says, that's the game changer. It refers to that window right before sleep when you're relaxed and your subconscious is most receptive. It's about impressing those desires onto your mind as you drift off.
You're giving your subconscious instructions, like downloading a new program while you sleep.
Exactly. And he emphasizes not just thinking it, but feeling it, experiencing it fully in your imagination. Like this story he tells about a woman whose cat was near death. She uses this technique, visualizing the cat back to its old playful self over and over.
She imagined her cat back to health.
Yes. Replaying those scenes, embodying the feeling of having her healthy cat. And get this, the cat recovers completely, lives for several more years.
Wow. My mind is blown. Okay, this is almost too good to be true. But then it gets even wilder with be wise as serpents, right? That always sounds a bit ominous, to be honest.
It's about shedding those limitations, embracing transformation, just like a snake sheds its skin. Not about being sneaky, but adapting, evolving, accessing hidden knowledge.
Being wise to the fact that we're not stuck, we can use our imagination to create something new.
Yes. He actually compares the serpent to the most subtle creature in the Garden of Eden, suggesting it holds a key to a deeper understanding of reality. And that imagination is our most powerful tool, unbound by the limitations of the physical world.
So the real treasure is our own untapped potential.
Exactly. We can access those future possibilities, bring them into being.
Okay, this is where I need a roadmap. How do we actually use this serpent wisdom?
Well, Goddard lays out a process. First, construct a vivid mental picture of your desired reality. Don't just think it, feel it, see it, hear it. Engage all your senses. Make it real in your mind's eye.
So, okay, I've built it, right? My mental movie set is ready. Vision board come to life. Now what? Just hit play and wait for the award ceremony.
Not quite, not quite. Goddard would say the next step is to really step into that scene. Don't just watch it from afar, but fully immerse yourself. What are you seeing, hearing, feeling? Engage all the senses. What's it like to be in that reality right now?
Okay, so it's immersive theater, but for my mind, right? I'm both the director and the lead actor. But how does all this internal work actually change the external world?
That's where the real art is letting go. Once you've built that vision and really felt it, you have to kind of release your grip on the how. Yeah. Trust that the universe, your subconscious, whatever you want to call it, will work out the details.
That's the tough part, right? Like surrendering control when you're so invested in the outcome.
Oh, absolutely. And that's where faith and patience come in. Goddard tells this great story, this woman who desperately wants this luxurious fur scarf, right?
Okay, I'm intrigued. Fur scarf, tell me more.
So she's visualizing, feeling the softness against her skin, the whole experience. But then she makes a point to remind herself to trust the process, let go of needing to control how it happens.
Does she get the scarf?
She does. Out of the blue, her father, who hadn't given her a gift in years, surprises her with it. It's like her imagination planted the seed and life delivered in the most unexpected way.
That's wild.
Yeah.
It really highlights that we're not just, passive bystanders. We have this creative power, whether we realize it or not.
Exactly. And with Goddard's principles, those he outlines in Seedtime and Harvest, we become conscious creators. We can be so much more deliberate in shaping our experience.
We just scratched the surface today, but hopefully this has given everyone some serious food for thought. If your life were a play, what scene are you rehearsing right now? Choose wisely, folks, because as Goddard suggests, reality might be taking notes. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. Until next time.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. It would be a great source of help to maintain and develop this channel and the correlated website. This book overview was presented to you by olbooksummary.com. Are you interested in more insights into personal development books or motivational and inspirational books? Please visit olbooksummary.com and you will find a library of the most helpful self-development and human character development books overviews. See you soon with the next books overview video.